This year is full of regrets. Good morning, it's Karen, and these are books that I absolutely regret not reading this year. I saw this wonderful video concept. This beautiful person's name here. I have mom brain. I am not sleeping through the night. I have an 8-month-old and he likes to wake up. So I don't coherently always. Yes. These are the books that I regret not getting to this year. I'm not going to beat myself up for not reading these. These are ones that are top of mind for next year. And some of them are even in my top 10 for next year, but I'm not going to tell you that just yet. The first one that I am so sad that I didn't get to because I borrowed it from my friend at this time last year and I still haven't read it, and it's this beautiful edition. This is The Name of the Rose. This is a beautiful spine. Oh, look at that. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so what is The Name of the Rose? This is a classic. So this is some of my favorite things: a mystery, some monks, and historical fiction. There is, I think, a murder. And I saw the movie a long, long time ago, and I remember loving the movie. I think Sean Connery is in it. This just has all of the things that I want in a story, and monks is one of those things that I just absolutely, I don't know, something about reading from the perspective of monks and nuns is just like my thing, and I so badly want to get to this one. The next one, this one was in my TBR jar, my dragon one, all year, and I just never pulled it. I never got to it, and that is The Blood Trials. I heard someone describe this as like an updated Hunger Games, and I want to read it. It sounds possible. Revenge. The Blood Trials are actually some kind of competition in which someone is possibly seeking revenge for their family being murdered. I read the description a long, long time ago, went, oh, that sounds interesting. And I heard recommendations and I thought, that sounds interesting. Add it to my list. Super excited for it. I've totally forgotten what it's about, but I have put it back in my dragon jar and I hope to pull it in January because this is getting ridiculous. This is one that I actually DNF'd this year, and not for the usual reasons, and that is The Wolf of Oren-Yaro. I had to DNF this one because I had like 5 holds come in at the library at the same time, and I had to pick one. And I've read the first chapter and I loved it, and I want to keep reading it. What do I remember of it? There is a woman, she's a queen. Possibly she murdered her husband, or her husband died straight after they were married, something like that. She has to go into hiding. She's got this bad reputation. Yeah, something's brought her out of hiding. I think it's a marriage of her son. I like, honestly, just the first chapter, I was hooked. So I really want to read this one. This next one is the final in a trilogy, and that is Jade Legacy. The internet lost its mind. And by the internet, I mean like BookTube. This is the third and final book. This is a very cool series. Didn't particularly like the first book because I felt like it was pretty slow, but then the second book picked up, and I definitely have heard lots of things about it being very fast paced. The third one. So here's hoping. This is a sort of Singaporean, well, it's fantasy, but it's definitely modeled Singapore, Hong Kong kind of place. It is what is like gangsters, mob, and the power is jade, which gives you kind of this sort of magic immunity, and the more jade you wear, the more powerful you are. It's very political in that it's different mob families warring with each other for power. Hoping to cap this one off. This one I definitely regret not reading. The next one is another third book in a series, and that is The Hod King, or The Hode King. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but we're going to go with that. This is the following the Senlin series. First one is the Senlin Ascends. I have read the first two books now, and I have loved both of them. These are not for everybody. This is a very particular type of writing style. The first book people liken to Alice in Wonderland because it is more of an idea book and more of a milieu book. In that, the character is basically just traveling from place to place. There is this tower called the Tower of Babel, and Senlin, the main character, a professor, not a professor, a teacher of the students, goes on a honeymoon with his wife. He gets separated from her, and he's trying to climb each level to try and find her. The first book, a lot of people will say the biggest criticism is that it's slow, and that's just because he's kind of exploring each level as he goes higher and higher. The second book was like steampunk and airships, and it was a lot more piratey, and I quite enjoyed that. Again, still kind of like on the slower read, but like in a good way that you want to take it in. And the Hod King is a little bit chunky. It's bigger than the other ones, so this one is a bit more intimidating. However, I do want to get to it because I love this series and I have the whole series. I do want to read it eventually, just not this year. Speaking of chunky books, The Tyranny of Faith. This is the second book in the Empire of the Wolf series. I think that's what it is. I love the first one. The first one will make it into my top 10 of this year. The first one being The Justice of Kings. It was a murder mystery in a fantasy world. It was kind of dark and gloomy. Probably would be a good read for December or the winter months, January. It's perfect. It read so quickly. It was wonderful. It was immersive. I loved all of the characters and I want to return to them. And I'm sad that I didn't get to this one because I ordered it right away after finishing the other one. It came right away and then I didn't touch it. So here's looking at you, 2024. And the last one I know the least amount, but people seem to be talking about this one, and that is The Will of the Many. I think this is a Roman-inspired fantasy. I read his first one, the Lycanus, The Shadow of What Was Lost, or whatever. I thought it was okay. I didn't love it. Actually, I think I would read it again if I was looking for like just your straight up typical fantasy, because I like typical fantasy in certain settings, and I think I was just disappointed because I thought it was going to be more and it wasn't. So we'll see with this one. Roman inspired, again, another sort of revenge story. There's a man whose family is murdered, and then he joins this academy to work his way up the ranks to possibly get his revenge. That's what I gathered from the description. Sounds cool. Most people are raving about it, so I'll watch a bunch of top videos of the fantasy people, the fantasy readers that I watch, and see if this one makes an appearance. And if it does, it might be moving up to my 2024 reads. And there you have it. These are books that I regret not reading, and I hope to possibly hope to read at some point next year? Question mark. My name is Karen. I am the Book Libernaught. I love exploring all types of books, and you're here for the ride. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you again soon. Bye. Not all of internet, just the like niche little corner that we're in. It is by John Eiling. John. I don't think it's John. James Eilington. That one was Mom Brain Karen. Oh my God, what is it? It's right there. Okay, The Justice of Kings.